Ever pondered why some words create an impact, while others just seem to get lost in translation? The key is in the potency of interaction. This is a vital skill, whether you're a friend, a romantic partner, or simply an individual trying to have your voice heard. But what makes interaction potent? Picture this. You're having a casual chat with your friend, or a heart-to-heart with your partner. You're pouring your heart out, but you're uncertain if they're really understanding you. You're unsure if your words are truly hitting home. Doesn't that feel disheartening? That's what happens when interaction falls flat. Effective interaction is a delicate dance. It's about conveying your feelings, thoughts, and intentions in a manner that's not just heard, but also comprehended and responded to. It's about ensuring your words carry weight and clarity, and strike a chord with the other person. This isn't a walk in the park, as it demands a genuine comprehension of the dynamics of personal relationships, the subtleties of language and intimate conversations, and the power of unspoken language. In this video, be venturing into the captivating universe of personal interaction, using real-life examples to reveal the techniques that make interactions successful. We'll examine how clear expression can magnify your words, how presumptions can skew perception, and how empathetic listening can build a bond. We'll also delve into the pitfalls that can result in too much being unsaid, and the role of nonverbal cues in crafting perceptions. So, if you're eager to enhance your friendship, inject more understanding into your romantic relationship, or simply aim to be a better communicator, this video is designed to furnish you with perspectives that can revolutionize your interaction approach. But bear in mind, like any other skill, potent interaction isn't something you perfect at the drop of a hat. It's a journey. Let's dive into our first case study, where the power of clarity takes center stage. Imagine this: a charismatic individual navigating the intricate dynamics of friendship and romantic partnership. The relationship is teetering on the precipice of deep connection or heartbreaking separation. The determining factor? Clear communication. Our relationship guru in question is a great believer in the power of clarity. He understands that clear communication is the foundation upon which successful relationships are built. It's the bond that holds the relationship together, the compass that guides them towards common goals. He begins by setting clear expectations in the relationship. Not broad, vague expectations, but those that are crystal clear, almost tangible. He paints a vivid picture of what he wishes the relationship to look like and what needs to be done to get there. He breaks down complex issues into manageable steps, making sure his partner knows their role and what is expected of them. Next, he fosters open communication and trust in the relationship. He encourages his partner to ask questions, to seek clarification when they are unsure. He makes it clear that no question is too trivial, no detail too small. This openness cultivates a sense of trust and camaraderie within the relationship, creating a safe space where everyone feels heard and valued. The result? A deeply connected couple moving in unison towards a shared goal. They are understanding, considerate, and most importantly, they are happy. They feel a sense of purpose, a sense of belonging. They know they are part of something bigger, something meaningful. This approach to relationships is not rocket science. It's simply about being clear and being transparent. But the impact is profound. It drives cooperation, boosts relationship satisfaction, and fosters a positive dynamic. It helps to avoid misunderstandings and conflicts, saving valuable time and emotional energy. It ensures that everyone is on the same page, moving in the same direction. Case illustrates how clear communication can be the difference between connection and separation. It shows that the power of clarity is not to be underestimated. It's a tool that, when used effectively, can transform relationships, drive mutual understanding, and ultimately lead to happiness. Now, let's look at a common pitfall in personal communication: assumption. Assumption is the silent killer that lurks in the shadows of our personal conversations. It creeps in when we begin to believe we already know what the other person is going to say, or when we think we understand their perspective without asking for clarification. Consider this real-life example. One friend sends a text to another saying, "Let's hang out on Friday." The receiver assumes they mean this Friday, but the sender was referring to the following week. Fast forward to this Friday, and the friend is waiting at the hangout spot while the other is elsewhere, oblivious. A clear case of miscommunication, all because of an assumption. Assumptions like this can be detrimental. They can lead to misunderstandings, hurt feelings, and even a breakdown in relationships. So always seek clarity, never assume. Remember, assumptions can create a chasm in your communication process, leading to misunderstandings and errors. Moving on to our next case study, we'll see how active listening becomes a crucial element in personal relationships. Imagine a woman, let's call her Jane, who was grappling with misunderstandings and conflicts in her relationships. Jane was sure of her viewpoints and expressed them readily, but often neglected to consider the opinions of her friends and partner. The consequence? Relationships where individuals felt dismissed and undervalued, leading to increasing conflicts and misunderstandings. Identifying the problem, Jane chose to make a shift. She started practicing active listening. Instead of monopolizing every conversation with her own opinions, she started to invite her friends and partner to share their thoughts. She would maintain eye contact, nodding in agreement, and summarizing what was said to ensure she comprehended their viewpoints. Jane would ask follow-up questions, fostering more conversation and displaying genuine interest in their ideas. The impact was swift and substantial. Her friends and partner began to feel recognized and listened to. They started to contribute more, airing thoughts that Jane had never contemplated. Misunderstandings reduced, as Jane's circle felt more involved and valued in their interactions. Active listening did not just enhance their communication, it also developed understanding. Jane had a better comprehension of her friends' and partners' thoughts, feelings, and ideas. She could handle disagreements more effectively, and she could promptly address any issues or concerns. More active listening helped Jane fortify her relationships. They felt valued and respected. They knew that Jane was truly interested in their views and willing to listen, leading to an atmosphere of trust and companionship that was missing before. The practice of active listening metamorphosed Jane's relationships. It transformed her from a friend or partner into a confidant. It brought her closer to her friends and partner, bridging the gap of misunderstanding and conflict. It demonstrates that active listening is not just about hearing, it's about understanding, responding, and cultivating relationships. This case study highlights the importance of active listening in effective communication in personal relationships. Next, we delve into another common communication pitfall in friendships and romantic relationships, and they're telling you about their day. They're sharing details, experiences, emotions, all at once in a whirlwind of words. Before you know it, your mind is overloaded with information, and you're struggling to grasp the heart of the conversation. This is a classic case of information overload. Overloading your friend or partner with too much information can lead to confusion, and even worse, disconnection. When we're overwhelmed with too much information, our minds struggle to process and retain the most crucial pieces. The result? The essence of the conversation gets lost in the surge of information. Remember the conversation scenario? Imagine if your friend or partner had focused on the key points, breaking down their day into manageable stories. You would have understood their experiences better, leading to more meaningful exchanges and ultimately, a bond. As we see, information overload can often blur the main message and lead to confusion. Finally, we observe a scenario where nonverbal communication was a key factor. Let's explore the realm of Sarah, a person well known for her strong bonds with friends and successful romantic relationships. Her success was not solely due to her eloquent words or astute understanding of people, but significantly, her mastery over nonverbal communication. Sarah realized that words are just part of the conversation, and nonverbal communication is as important as verbal communication in personal relationships. She understood that body language, facial expressions, eye contact, and even silence can convey deep emotions and feelings. Her interactions were a dance of subtle cues and gestures that highlighted her feelings and amplified her sincerity. In all her relationships, Sarah knew that relying solely on verbal communication was not enough, so she started using nonverbal cues to enhance understanding. For instance, when discussing emotionally complex issues, she would use her hands to illustrate her feelings, effectively aiding comprehension. When she wanted to emphasize a point of importance, she would maintain steady eye contact, ensuring the gravity of her words was understood. When showing approval or affection, a simple nod or a warm smile was her signature. Interestingly, Sarah also wielded the power of silence. Instead of filling every moment with words, she allowed for pauses, providing space for her loved ones to digest information, reflect, and respond. This practice nurtured relationships where everyone felt heard and valued. But here's the fascinating part. Sarah's nonverbal cues were never random. They were intentional and consistent. Her friends and partner knew that a specific gesture or expression meant something particular. This clarity reduced misunderstandings and fostered a sense of trust and intimacy in her relationships. This case study distinctly shows that communication is not just about words, but also about what lies beyond them. Sarah's story emphasizes the importance of nonverbal communication and its role in enhancing understanding, fostering trust, and ultimately maintaining successful personal relationships. As we conclude, let's recap the main points from our exploration of communication methods and obstacles in friendships and romantic relationships. We started by recognizing that effective communication is indeed a crucial skill, one that can make or break friendships and romantic relationships. We dove into the power of clarity, which is the cornerstone of any successful exchange. Without clear, concise, and cogent messages, misinterpretations are inevitable, leading to confusion and potential heartaches. Remember, clarity is not just about expressing feelings, but also understanding the other person. Next, we address the silent destroyer of effective communication: assumptions. They are often the root cause of misunderstandings and disputes. Instead of assuming, we should always seek clarification and confirmation. This approach not only prevents miscommunication, but also fosters trust and transparency. Further, we uncovered the art of active listening, a frequently undervalued yet incredibly essential skill. Active listening is not just about hearing the words spoken, but understanding the underneath messages, emotions, and intentions. It's about demonstrating empathy, providing feedback, and forming a deeper bond. We also talked about the phenomenon of information overload, a routine trap in today's fast-paced, information-saturated world. Excessive information can be just as detrimental as too little. It can overwhelm, confuse, and lead to indecisiveness. The key is to harmonize the volume of information with its quality and relevance. Lastly, we scrutinized the role of nonverbal communication. Often it's not the words we utter, but our body language, tone of voice, and facial expressions that reveal our genuine feelings and intentions. Nonverbal signals can support or contradict our words, so it's crucial to ensure they are in sync with our verbal utterances. Remember, effective communication is not just about speaking, it's about bonding. It's not just about talking, it's about deciphering. And most importantly, it's not merely about words, it's about the impact those words generate.